The youngest of 7, so my siblings, especially my sisters and my mother, were always engaged, it seems to me, in volunteer work within the school, within the church, within the small village where we lived. And so that was kind of just a good foundation for me going forward. And my siblings, all of whom are older than I, are still engaged in the communities where they live. So it's been a gift that never stopped giving. In my adult working years, paid working years especially, mentors would have been colleagues, many of whom over the years tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, why don't you offer to serve on this committee or that committee? We think you could do this or that. And so I would say to people, always be open to those taps on the shoulder and to be a deliverer of those taps on the shoulder, because often people will become involved if they're invited to or encouraged to. So to me, that was a most significant life experience.
I would say that I've had many mentors, and often I didn't realize until after the fact that they were a mentor. A lot of them were teachers, either in high school or in university. Some of them were my direct supervisors at work. An overwhelming amount of them were women, because so much of the work that I do is focused on women's rights, women's equality, so I've kind of naturally gravitated towards identifying really rad women I look up to and then learning from them.
Great.
My father, my parents, but my father in particular was a huge mentor of mine. He taught me everything I need to be a man, and how important it was to give back to the community. I mean, he made us get up on Saturday mornings growing up and clean the ditches in the neighborhood, and I always asked him, why do we have to do that? He goes, because we can. It was a simple answer, but it was the right answer, and I've carried that philosophy through my life, and I'd say my father was my biggest influence in my life.
So many role models out there. One that really has inspired me was Helen McDonnell, who really wanted to bring about change in the area of mental health because of a loss that she had experienced. And she works tirelessly in that field and is always an advocate and always supportive, encouraging of people who want to offer their time, whether it's a one-time gift of time or whether it's a long-term commitment. Who else has inspired me? There was a leader that I worked with at the Y who she demonstrated to me that a true leader really just gets to know the people that are around them so that they can maximize their talents. It's not about what I have to offer as a leader, it's about all the people that are willing to work with me and what I can do to support them and maximize their talents and gifts that they're willing to give. So she was really very inspiring as well.
Someone that inspired me as a leader, I think, would be the people who I learned from in college and who I've worked under throughout my career. I see the giving that my instructors would do in their own time above and beyond teaching all of us, but also I see the people I work with and how hard they work in their day and that they still give back to their community after hours, and that really inspires me to do the same.
My parents have always gave and never asked for anything in return. They give because they want to give. They give because it makes them feel good, not because they want any accolades or they want any awards or they want people to recognize the good that they've done. They do it because that's who they are. And that's, what was instilled from them and their experiences in life. We all experience life different. You can ask somebody, what's the secret to life that's 90 years old? They can only tell you what the secret to life is within their time frame of living, because we're all on this ride together for the first time ever, because nobody experiences this ride the same way.
My mom has been through a lot of trials and tribulations and has still continued to motivate not only me, but everyone in her life and everyone in her community and everyone at NBCC. So my mom has definitely been my influence and my mentor in leadership, for sure.
Wow, thanks, Jess.